Unemployment when we came was very, very high, 38%. Now it's about 28%, so 10% less. Still is biggest challenge to us. But having in mind that we reduced for 10% in a period of global economic crisis in the world and European debt crisis, it's some kind of solid result, I would say. To attract more investors, domestic and foreign, to open facilities, to open companies in Macedonia and to employ people. Macedonia, on a first view, is a small country, 2 million people, but having in mind that we have free trade agreement with all countries in Europe, actually everybody who is producing or something in Macedonia can export in all European countries.
Well, Macedonia is indeed a great gateway into Europe. And you've tried to join the European Union as well as NATO, but Macedonia has been blocked mostly by Greece, and the central issue there has been the name dispute. At issue, Greece takes offense to the name Macedonia because there is a territory in the northern area of Greece called Macedonia, and it thinks that there is a territorial claim on that area via the name. What is Macedonia's take on this, and where are we with regards to resolving this name dispute?
22 years ago, when Macedonia took independence, our south neighbor Greece opened the issue about our name, the name of the country, the name of the nation, and the name of the language. We are trying to find some solution to overcome this issue, because this is the only issue why Macedonia is not member of NATO and why Macedonia did not start it in 2009, the final negotiations for full membership to European Union, which, if there was not such problems, probably now would finish and we would join now EU. But because of the problem connected with our south neighbor Greece, which is member of those organizations of NATO and EU and has a right of veto, our membership was postponed. In the meantime, as I said, with support of United Nations, we are trying to resolve this issue.
Do you see any resolution on the horizon?
Still, I cannot say that there is a serious progress. Our south neighbor has a serious problems inside in the country. They are in serious financial and economic difficulties, as you know, the debt crisis of Greece. And they are focused to themselves too much, and they are not enough focused to this issue. For us, this is issue number one, to be resolved as soon as possible. But for them, obviously, is not number one.
So is joining the European Union a prospect at this stage? And if so, what kind of timeline would you be looking at?
There are several solutions. One solution is, for example, to start the negotiations, Greece to allow to us to start the negotiations, and to continue with, looking for solution of our bilateral issue during the negotiations, which is usually taking 4 years, 5 years. So to give a chance in those 4 or 5 years to resolve the issue, and in the same time to continue with negotiations for full membership to EU. The second approach is the approach that Greece now is implementing, and this is to not give a possibility to start the negotiations and to not join NATO before resolving the issue. I think the first one would be much more productive, but it's up to them. They are inside, they have a right of veto, and they are
Prime Minister, Macedonia has had tremendous success with its own fiscal and monetary policy. You've managed to keep inflation in check. The local currency, the dinar, has been pegged to the euro, and your GDP has been consistently strong. Would there be any real advantage to joining the European Union, considering that that bloc is not in the most stable state right now?
That's true that we have a very stable macroeconomic policy. We have low inflation, low state debt, currency which is very stable. But joining of EU is something that is important for all countries in the southeastern Europe. First of all, we are sharing the same values as the European countries, generally talking. But second, also there are a lot of structural funds that we can use in our development in the next years, which is very important for us and important for all countries in the region.
Do you see that there's light at the end of the tunnel with regards to the Eurozone crisis?
In the last period, we have positive feelings about the European debt crisis. If we are connecting this with our economy, I can say that in the last 6 months, we have, in the first quarter, a growth of 2.9% of GDP, in the second quarter, 3.9% of GDP, which is good, which is positive. And this is one of the signals that the things in the Eurozone and European Union are improving.